All right. Well, first of all, good afternoon and welcome to today's program. My name is Betsy Paish, and I'm the founder and director of the Medford Community Chorale and Youth Chorus. I am here today with our wonderful accompanist, Dr. Holly Zagaria, with our amazing technical director, Julie Kelleher, and with members of the chorale. We're delighted to have all of you who took the time this afternoon to join us. We really appreciate it. We'd like also to thank Pat Gordon from Medford Community Media and Arthur Mudge from Malden Access TV for giving us this opportunity to let folks know about us, about the chorale.
Betsy?
Yes.
Excuse me, his name is James Mudge.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I apologize. And I have these notes right here, Julie. I'm sorry, James Mudge at Malden Access TV, again, for giving us this opportunity to let folks know about the chorale and about what we've been doing prior to and during the pandemic. So I'm going to start off with a very quick history of the chorale, just to give folks some background. The chorale was organized back on November 7th in 2019 with a tremendous amount of help from Jill and Sean Began of Began Law here in Medford. They also happen to be the parents of one of our delightful youth chorus members, Catherine Began. The plan initially was to begin rehearsals in January for a spring concert. And right after that, I got a phone call from Kelly Catallo, who was spearheading then Mayor-elect Brianna Lungo-Kern's inauguration committee. She asked me if I would be willing to put together a citywide chorus to sing at the inauguration. Talk about a God wink. At that point, things moved into high gear, and we had 3 rehearsals, and we ended up with 59 singers on the stage at the inauguration on January 5th. We then, after the inauguration, we expanded the group to include a youth chorus and youth and young adult chorus. We have one of our youth and young adults there in Fiona today. We began rehearsals in earnest in January with both groups, anticipating a concert on May 31st at Tufts University. At the close of rehearsal on March 11th, we all said goodnight to each other. Have a good night. See you next week. Everything's coming together. Looking forward to it. And then, as you know, everything came to a screeching halt when the pandemic hit with a vengeance. So we started to think about what we could do until we could come back together. You've all seen the incredible virtual choir videos on social media. And so Holly and Julie and I decided we would give it a try to create a virtual choir video with the chorale. This could never have happened without Julie. We were so fortunate. Julie has worked for over 15 years, Julie, at Malden Access TV, and has done some video editing. Never anything quite like this, but she was she was game. She was willing to give it a try, and so we did. We did a test with 4 of the tech-savvy younger members of the chorale, of which Monty and Fiona were 2 of them, and it worked. So we decided to go forward with it, and we completed our first virtual choir video, Thank You for the Music, on Labor Day weekend. And most recently, we completed our second adult chorale video, Lift Every Voice and Sing, and our very first youth and young adult chorus video, Do Re Mi. So that brings us up to date. And at this point, we want to get to some music. And so we'd like to share with you a clip from our first and only live public performance to date at the inauguration. And this is the closing piece, God Bless America. Hey, thank you, Julie. And I saw some familiar faces there. And I also saw, and sadly, I saw a couple of faces who are not with us anymore. Our friend John Farrell and our friend Jan Meagle. But it was, it was bittersweet to see them in that video. At this point, Julie, you correct me if I make any more mistakes here. We're
Okay.
going to actually, we'd like to hear from some of you, our members. If you have any, any comments, if you have anything you'd like to share about your experience with the chorale, either live or virtual, and so we'll just put it out to you now. If anybody has something they'd like to share.
You remember, if you do want to speak, you please wave your hand in front so I can ask you to unmute.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We'll hear from
Kathleen.
Kathleen first. Just please unmute yourself, Kathleen.
There.
There we are.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Betsy, Holly, and Julie for their hard work. And also, I would not be here if it wasn't for Betsy, because she is, as I always told her, she's like a dog with a bone. She'll go after you. I said, Betsy, I can't do this. Oh, yes, you can. I said, no, I can't do it, Betsy. Oh, yes, you can. And she kept after me and after me. And finally, I did it. And she said, you see, I told you you could do it. But, she's very encouraging. She's like my sister from another mother, really. She is so, and she does it in a way that, she doesn't make you feel like you can't do anything. She really gives you encouragement. And
Thank you.
that's what we all need.
Well, thank you
So
so much for sharing that with us.
Really and truly from my heart.
I know.
Oh, I see someone else here, Mary Ann. Yeah, just please unmute. That's okay.
Okay, got it.
Beautiful.
Yes, I'd like to build on what Kathleen said. I am a virtual member of the chorale. I was not a participant at the inauguration for the Medford mayor, and Betsy is my sister-in-law. Philip is my brother, and I made the mistake of singing all the way home in the car ride with them from a trip to Connecticut. And Betsy must have made a mental note that she'll do. And when she asked me to join, I said, you can't be serious. And she said, no, you can sing. You really can sing. Then and I love to sing, but at home by myself in the shower, maybe the car ride. But she called and said, why don't you try it? And I said, Betsy, I'm still stinging from an experience in Catholic school when I was in the choir, and the nun was walking past us one day. The boys were on one side, the girls were on the other, and she walked past, and she got to me and stopped. And I was scared out of my mind. And she grabbed me by the shoulder and yanked me and put me in with the boys. And I was so mortified that just like shut me down mentally from singing again in public. But in a virtual world, having cleaned all the closets in my house and nothing left to do, I said, I'll give it a try. I told Betsy that I was an alto because that's what I thought I was, having been with the boys. And Betsy said, no, you're a soprano. And she brought it out of me. She coached me. And basically, she helped me find my voice. And for that, I'm very grateful.
Oh, you're welcome, Marianne. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, very much.
Anybody else?
Oh, there's Philip. Okay. Please unmute.
There should be a little, there you go.
Kathleen, what you said was lovely. You're still not getting a Christmas present, but that was a very good job. I want to talk about Betsy getting people to participate. I think wonderful her approach to all inclusiveness, whether people realize they can sing or not, whether people realize that they want to be in the choir or not. I think it's just great. We have two friends, well, actually, my cousin in Italy and my dear friend in Stuttgart, Germany. And I use these videos that Betsy, well, that we send out now and again to keep in touch with people in far flung corners of the globe. So when I sent it to them, they were both delighted. And Fabio, the one in Italy, told me he too sings in the choir for Christmas Eve. And I wasn't about to say join the choir with us, but I turned it over to Betsy. And like the dog with the bone, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, she finally got him to agree that he would participate. So the very fine bass voice that we added to the mix. And such is the same with the guy in Stuttgart. He said, talking with him, oh, that was wonderful, wonderful, Philip. Thank you for sending it. That's one thing that I greatly miss here in Germany, is I'm not able to practice my choir every week. And I said, oh, okay, Betsy, here it is. Go for it. So she's the two new bass voices, which adds great to our choir. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Philip. So anyway, before, oh, I see another hand.
Yes.
Nancy?
Nancy,
Am I unmuted?
we
Yes.
can hear you.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say I'm a very new member. Well, the group is new, but Betsy invited me to join and do the performance for the mayor in January. And all I have to say is I've known Betsy for a long time. I've sung in many choirs, community theaters, church groups, but to bring 59 people together in a short period of time with 3 rehearsals, many of us who had never sung together, never knew one another, and to give the most uplifting, incredible performance that day was really very special. And it takes a special person to be able to do that, to give us all the confidence and the music and the expertise that she gave to make us feel like we were a group. And it really was incredible. There's nothing else that lifts the spirit like music. So thank you so much, Betsy. I have not been able to do the virtual, but I'm so looking forward to when we all get together again.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Okay,
Um,
before we talk to somebody else, do we want to hear from Rainer?
Oh, yes, Reiner. Yes.
First,
Okay.
Reiner, excuse me, for Reiner, and I see you, Holly, so,
Yes. Yes. Right after this.
okay,
Anyway,
let.
Reiner actually is the gentleman that Philip was talking about, our good friend from Stuttgart, Germany, and he has recorded a little message for us today. He wasn't able to participate, well, because of the lag and because of the time difference. So, anyway, Julie, you've got Reiner's clip for us, do you?
Yes, let me see.
My name is Rainer. I'm from Stuttgart, Germany, the town of Mercedes and Porsche. When back in spring I talked to my long-term friend Betsy about the corona crisis, I said what affected me most was that I could not sing in my choir anymore. And she said, so why don't you participate in our virtual choir? And I right away liked the idea. So I started to exercise, got some support, and was very happy to see the final result put together. And that's why it was no-brainer for me to participate in the second one as well. And I will do so in the future for future virtual choir sessions. It's a great experience.
Oh, that was nice to hear from Reiner. Okay, actually, I think at this point we're going to turn things over to Holly for a couple of minutes to ask her from her perspective to share with us her thoughts about her experience with the chorale. Holly.
Well, my experience with the chorale now has been almost exclusively online. We had a number of rehearsals prior to that, as you said, Betsy. And as Nancy was saying, you know, working with you is such an uplifting experience, and you are such an excellent musician that you bring twice as much kindness to the table as the average director. And so you're able to bring the very best out of people of every, type of background, every type of musical experience, because you know your stuff so incredibly well. You know where to shift, where to pull, where to lean in a little bit, where to back off, depending on the personalities, depending on the voice type, voice part, and that's in a live situation. In this virtual situation, you your fire for this project, and Julie, my God, the two of you, how you have put this together is absolutely extraordinary. Basically, what we did was Betsy very graciously invited me to play, and we got together at her house, and we worked together. We wanted to create tracks that people could listen to and follow along to sing their respective parts, and also to have just a plain accompaniment track. So we worked on that together, and there's a lot of trial and error in all of this, because we're all, we're acoustic musicians. We're used to being live and doing things in real time. And so realizing that, okay, well, for somebody who maybe has never, literally never sung in a choir before, that they're going to create their own solo track, and that Betsy and Julie will listen to every single person's solo track and help to meld each one of these sounds together. And people feel music very differently in isolation. We feel music differently, anyways, based on heart rate, based on temperament, based on how excited we are with the text. And so Julie and Betsy have worked tirelessly to bring together, to weave together in this just beautiful mosaic of sound, all of the different voices uh, of every single member, every single person that is in this, to create a blend, and it has been astounding to watch this process. For myself, I'm in the very beginning of the process. Betsy and I lay down the tracks. We do it together. We decided that it would be good to have a visual, as well as the audio tracks, and even simple things like just making sure that the soprano and the alto and the tenor and bass, all of those individual tracks, that they all have the same feel, because from one track to the next, I may feel it differently, So, so there's a lot in the learning curve of this. There's nothing that you can lay back on uh, just from your own experience, with the exception of just whatever's on the page, the laying it down part. But this is such a technical process. And kudos, Betsy, kudos, Julie. You guys are incredible. And to every single person, especially those who have not, uh, don't have as much experience, maybe haven't been singing in choirs for decades, that you had the courage to record yourselves in a solo situation, because these were solo tracks. So if there are 30 people, it's 30 solo tracks that they're editing and weaving together. It's astounding. And I don't know about you, but I mean, I remember even when we first had phone answering machines, when we'd hear our voices on it, it was embarrassing just hearing that, right? So to hear ourselves do a solo of of an inner line of a piece of music is a new experience for a lot of people. So I think everybody really just uh, bumped up their presence in such a unique way, in this way. And Betsy, it is because of you. It is because of you. Period.
Thank you, Holly.
You.
I have to tell you, this has lifted me up too. Believe me, you
Oh,
have given me as much, believe me, as much or more than I have given you. But it just really, it was to see the joy that people brought to this. Nervous to begin with, but then getting their sea legs with it, gaining their confidence, and seeing what they did. It really, it was something that has brought me great joy. And we're not done yet. And I hope we're going to get a chance to do. We'll do a couple more of these. I hope before we get back together live and in person. I can't wait for that day. But thank you so much, all of you, for what you've done. Why don't we go now, Julie, to our first. Thank you, Holly. Why don't we go now to our first virtual choir video? Thank you for the music. One, two, three, four.
I'm nothing special, in fact, I'm a bit of a bore. When I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want to do is sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would I be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk, and she says I began to sing long before I could talk. And I often wonder, how did it all start? Who found out that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can? Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What could I be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I am so lucky, born with a love for song and dance. I want to sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a chance. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in honesty. What could I be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Thank you for the music.
Thank you, Julie. I have to say that we learned so much from doing the first one, that we were able to apply to the second video and the one with the children. Just in terms of the way we approached it, how to prepare for it, how to approach it. We did so much like initial work, legwork before Julie and I even started getting together. So it's been a real learning experience for us. And I think at this point, Julie's going to share a little bit about the technical aspect of doing this with us.
Hi, everybody. Yeah,
Julie.
I have to, I have to build upon what others have said. It's, I had the basic, you know, um, video editing expertise, but the thing for me was the editing. There's so much more to video editing that I didn't know. And the only reason why I didn't know is because Betsy would say, "Can you do this?" And I'd say to myself, "Well, I can't do it, but I think Final Cut Pro can." So I learned how to do it. And she really just, I've learned so much in the past, few months from just working with Betsy as far as, every, I can't even begin, using presets, making a template so that I could get all the people in their little squares, how to import the video, everything. And again, I knew some of this, but a lot of this I didn't. And I learned. And even when I spoke to James Mudge at MATV, I brought in my laptop and I showed it to him. And he's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And I'm like, well, the only reason I said to him the same thing, the only reason I knew what to do was that Betsy said, "Can you do this?" And I go, "Well, I guess we're going to."
And you did
So,
a great job.
and I have to say another thing too. I'm not the best person in the world working with other people, but I have to tell you, I Betsy's such a joy to work with. She really is. She's just, the one thing is that she knows what she wants. She absolutely knows what she wants. And she really kind of, I'm not going to say push, I'm going to say inspire. She inspires you to be better. And, anyone can be the director, but as someone once said, it's the difference between a boss and a leader. And I think Betsy is definitely the latter. She's a leader. And also, the other thing too is, I mean, I've known Betsy for many, many years. She was good friends with my sister all through school. So, we've known each other for so long, but just working together, it was just such a joy working with you, Betsy.
Thank
Very,
you,
very much.
Julie.
And I'm
Feeling is mutual, believe me. Yeah. And I look forward to doing more work together with you, um, and with all of you. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Julie. Okay, so I think at this point we're going to open it up. There are some folks we haven't heard from yet today, and I was just wondering, my friend Fiona. We have one. Well, Fiona kind of, she goes back and forth. She has sung with the adult chorale. She has also sung with the youth and young adult group, and just wanted to ask you, Fiona, about your thoughts, how what your experience was like doing this.
Yeah, so I've been with Betsy for my whole life basically since like yeah,
Or
so
at least since you were 8.
yeah, well pretty much a long time. So yeah, so when St. Joseph stopped, like it was pretty sad. So I thought that was pretty much the end of my journey with Betsy, so I was pretty sad. So when Medford Community Choral like happened, I was super excited. So and then it shut down because of Corona, and then I was sad again. So then I was excited that we're gonna have a virtual choir. So at first I was super stressed because I had no idea how to do it with the video, and I had to call Betsy like 10 times to figure out how to do it. but but then in the end, I figured out how to do it, and you all sounded beautiful. I loved seeing you guys on the screen, and most of you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Well, thank you so much for that, Fiona, and I'm so glad you were involved actually every step of the way with it.
Yeah,
And I
help.
hope you'll be with us for the next one too.
I will.
All right, it's great to have you with us, honey. Let's see, who else haven't we heard from? Monty. We haven't heard from Monty. Any thoughts? Anything you'd like to share with us, Monty?
Yes, hello.
Hi. There
I
you
just
are.
want to thank the three of you all for the amazing work you did with the videos. It was amazing. I was very happy to be a part of that. But more importantly, I was very happy to be a part of the Medford Community Chorale because I sing with a professional group, but it feels like work. So this doesn't feel like work. This feels like joy. It feels very inspirational. So I really much appreciate that.
So glad.
And for me, I had a stroke 2 years ago, so it was nice to get back into singing with a community and to feel like the presence of community singers and just your work ethic. Betsy is just fantastic. So I just
Oh,
appreciate that. So just doing this virtual was a gift because I didn't think I was going to be able to do anything choral like virtually, but you guys pulled it off. So thank you for letting me be a part of that.
that's great. Thank you so much, Monty. And for those of you who don't know, Monty is a professional. He is part of, let's see, is it Ball in the Jack?
Ball in the house.
Ball in the House. I was close. Ball in the House a cappella group who are just amazing. Monty has shared a couple of their videos with me, and just fabulous. So we were very fortunate and very delighted when you decided to join us, Monty. And I'm so glad that you've had a good time and that you've enjoyed it too. You know. Okay, I think let's see. Do we have time for one more in this segment, Julie?
Sure, I think we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We also want to leave room for Reverend Matt's video.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah,
Okay.
no, we
Yeah.
we we haven't heard from people, so let's
Yeah.
see. Oh,
Tony,
there's
how about
Tony.
is Tony? Okay. Let's hear from Tony, then we'll go to Reverend Matt, and then we'll get to you, ladies. Don't worry.
Hi, Betsy.
Hi, Tony.
I must say that I was intimidated by all of this virtual stuff, but you prevailed, as you always do, and did the encouragement for me to start on a new venture. I didn't think I'd be able to juggle around earphones and cell phones and everything else and then read the music but having been depressed for a year of not singing, I figured I'd give it a try, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm so happy to be part of the group. And it was just marvelous that you were able to pull this all together. I'm still reeling from the fact that you were able to put all of you that were involved, put all these voices together and make such a beautiful sound. Really, I appreciate being involved. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tony. And you all, I mean, it was your beautiful sounds that we put together. And you did the singing. But it was a great experience. Just wonderful. Okay, so you know what we're going to do is turn it over now to, we have a recorded message by a wonderful man, Reverend Matt from the First Baptist Church here in Medford. Reverend Matt has just been so supportive and so encouraging to me from the first day that he got to Medford. We participated in ecumenical Palm Sunday processions together and other events, interfaith services and that sort of thing. And he offered to send us a little message of support. So Julie's going to play that for us now.
Hello, my name is Dr. Matt Rasher, and I'm the minister at the First Baptist Church of Medford on Oakland Street, and I am the organizer of the Concerts of FBC series. To Betsy and all the participants in the Medford Community Chorale, thank you. As winter drags on and COVID drags on, there is not much light in these days. In fact, there is literally less and less light each day until later this month. In this long, hard night, you have brought great light. You have found a way to come together creatively, safely, and lovingly to make something beautiful. As we all wait for a vaccine to preserve our collective health, you have offered us medicine and balm for our souls. Keep letting your lights shine, and please keep the music coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. He's a wonderful man, and we're very grateful that that he wanted to offer a message of support. So thank you, Reverend Matt. Okay, I think at this point, we're going to go to our second adult chorale virtual choir video, Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Lift every voice and sing. Let the earth resound, the oceans and mountains ring. Let the song be of peace and love everlasting, joyous and harmony. Lift every voice and sing. Come together, hand in hand, no matter who you are, or where you meet in Christ. Our hearts are all the same, each one a single flame, united we shine a brighter dream. Lift every voice and sing. Let the earth resound, the oceans and mountains ring. Let the song be of peace and love everlasting, joyous with harmony. Lift every voice and sing. Are you willing to share or take time out to care? Be a friend, not just being there. We are measured by the things we do, and if it's good, the good will come back to you. Lift every voice and sing. Let the earth resound, the oceans and mountains ring. Let the song be of peace and love everlasting, joyous with harmony. Lift every voice and sing. Lift every voice and sing, and sing. Lift every voice and sing.
But anyway, yes, and you might have noticed we actually we had 38 participants in our first video. Thank you for the music, including Holly and me, and we had 42 this time. But there was some swapping off. We had some folks like some of you who have done both videos, and some who have done just one. So we welcomed 11 new participants. So we were delighted to do that. It was great to have people reach out from the community who had seen us one way or the other and decided that they would like to participate. So it was great, and I hope they'll stay with us when we come back live, which we will do. We will do one of these days. Okay, so I think at this point,
Well,
we still have two ladies we haven't heard
yes, there they are.
How about Ann, Martha, and Mary? Do you have anything you'd like to share with us?
Well, I'd just like to say again, with the many other thank yous, thank you to Betsy Page for her talent and her willingness to share it and provide Medford collaborative concerts with her wonderful sounds of music. And as the health returns to our city, may we lift our voices and sing and say it with music.
Absolutely. From your lips to God's ears, Mary. Absolutely. And Martha, do you want to elaborate on that, or?
Sure, I'll say. Well, we all love you, Betsy, and it's just, you know, I didn't come into the choir till afterwards, but it's the type of thing where it's when you hear all the voices, all the different parts and so forth, it just makes us feel really good, and I love the sound of the different parts and everybody's coming together so nicely, and it's nice to be part of it. It really is.
Well, we're so glad you're a part of it. And, and you're right. You mentioned about hearing the voices together. that's one thing that you don't get to do in the virtual experience. So it's something very different. But you still, you get to hear the final product when the voices are brought together. But you're right, there's nothing like being in that room together and hearing the other voice parts and just being lifted up. But we'll get back there again. Thanks, Ann Martha.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think what we have left is we haven't seen the youth and young adult video.
Yep.
And so we would like to share with you now Do Re Mi. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Though a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself, far a long way to run. So a needle would thread, far a note to follow soul. See, a drink of jam and bread, that'll bring us back to a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself, far a long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread, far a note to follow soul. Tea, a drink with jam and bread, that'll bring us back to dawn. When you know the notes to sing, you can sing close and easy. When you know the notes to sing, you can sing close and easy. Do, mi, so, re, fa, la, ti, ti. Do, mi, so, re, fa, la, ti, ti. Do, mi, so, la, ti, ti. Do, mi, so, re, la, ti, ti. You can sing most anything. Do, dear, a female deer, Ray, a drop of sun. Me, a name I call myself, far away to run. So, a needle would thread, far to the sun. Tea, a drink with jam and bread, that'll bring us back to Thank you.
I love Audrina at the end. Thank you. But anyway, and it was a challenge for some of the younger children, especially. But and I'm sure for their parents working with them. But they stayed with it, and they did a good job, and I think they had fun. Okay, so I think before oh, I know we actually have a message from the mayor, from Mayor Brianna Lungo-Kern, who also wanted to add her wishes. So we'll listen to the mayor's clip now before we wrap up, Julie.
Yes, here we go.
Hi, Betsy. I just want to let you know what you and the Medford Community Chorale and the Youth Chorus are doing is amazing. I looked forward to opening that link and hearing your beautiful voices. Do, Re, Mi made me smile, and I just want you to know, keep up the good work and the beautiful singing. Happy holidays, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Mayor Lungo-Kern. Okay, so I think we're gonna bring things to a close. First of all, I want to thank all those of you who took this time out during this. Even if it's an unusual year, this is still a busy time of year, and I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today and to share your experience with the folks. Also, I apologize for the little bit of a rocky start, but anyway, but we got together, and I really appreciate it. So one thing that I didn't mention was that we are so blessed to have so many wonderful sponsors who have helped make this possible. I think at the end of the program, Julie's going to roll the credits. Listing all of the folks who make this possible, and not the least of which is my sister-in-law Marianne, who participated with us today. So we are very, very grateful to all of them. As I mentioned, I think hopefully we're going to take a little break, and after the holidays, get started on our next videos. And I hope you'll all be able to be with us again. And my prayer is that at the end, that before the end of 2021, we'll be able to come back together physically into the rehearsal room and begin to prepare for a live concert. Maybe there'll be a live Christmas holiday concert next year. So we'll hope. But anyway, thank you all again so much. Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Betsy. I'm sorry, I tried earlier and then I just now thought, well, let me give it another go, and here we are.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's so funny because we were just saying we felt so bad that you weren't able to get in. We just finished. However, Julie is here, and we heard from everybody else. And if you have something, would you be willing to,
like a minute,
less than a minute, would you be willing to share some, just any comments or a little bit about your experience and your thoughts?
Okay. Let me just put my light on. I'm sorry.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. I think for me, singing in the chorale, it creates such a deep bond between our singers and our musicians, because we all have the same purpose: to create beautiful music for people to enjoy. And I also think there's such a tremendous sense of togetherness, and it transcends all barriers because we have that one goal in mind, and that's to produce a beautiful sound for people's enjoyment. And I've been singing with Betsy for many years under her very gifted directorship, and started singing in my church choir when I was 9 years old. And it's always been something very, very special in my life. And I so appreciate it. And when Betsy started the chorale, I was so thrilled because it was an opportunity for us to come together again and sing together. And the videos are wonderful. I've shared them with my family. My two little grandsons watch over and over the very joyful Do Re Mi, and they just love it. And
oh, that's wonderful.
It's just been a wonderful experience for me.
Well, I'm so glad, Maureen. Yeah, and you're right. It is a way to be together separately, just because we are in this together.
Absolutely.
But it was a blessing for me when we were able to do this, because one of the last things that I said was, I promise you, we will find a way to be together again.
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful for the way it's turned out. Yes. And now we even have Tony back with us.
I know, that was wonderful. And
absolutely.
To look at the videos and to see all those people whom I just so love being with and singing with, it's wonderful.
To you, Maureen.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tony, oh my gosh, so good to see you.
Yes. Isn't it great, everyone being
Hello,
back
Kathleen.
together?
Hi, Maureen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Oh, that's
and some of the others have already left. But
Sure.
But anyway, I'm just delighted, Maureen, you came in at just the right moment. I was going to reach out to you to ask you if you would record something and you came in just in the nick of time.
Right.
So you will be part of the program. Thank
Thank
you so much for trying again.
Oh, thank you, Betsy. This was wonderful. And
Have-
just so great to see everybody.
I know. I know.
Oh gosh. Well, listen, after Christmas, you know what, we'll take a little break, and after the holidays, we'll get started on our next ones.
Great.
All right. Thanks
Great.
again, Maureen.
Thank you, Betsy.
Okay. Have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, you too, Betsy. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.